Cora, how do you go from um, an architect to getting in the automotive aftermarket to owning a business like Torq Masters?
So I got into off-roading and then joined the club. And I had a 1980 CJ7 on 36-inch tires and an AMC 360 V8. So that was pretty cool. Um, and joined the club when I had the Jeep. I had already moved on from the Xterra, and we would just, as a club, we'd go off-roading maybe like once a month. And then the park we went to a lot was Roush Creek down in Pennsylvania, and they
Mhm.
started doing amateur rock crawling competitions. So my husband and his buddy did it in his Jeep the first year. I did it in my Jeep with a friend from the club. And then the next year, Eric and I joined up together and we were newly dating. And we did the amateur rock crawling series in my Jeep. And I was the driver and he was the spotter. And there's nothing like relationship building when he's holding onto you with a strap and you're, driving on the side of a comp course and he's trying to hold you from rolling over. And
Yep.
Wow.
so,
Yeah, that is so true. If you ever want to test your relationship, one, go on a trip together, but then next level, like boss level, is go on a off-roading trip together in the same car with him as your spotter.
Yeah.
yeah,
Gotta be some trust there, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
or vice versa.
Yeah.
You as his spotter, that can be even more difficult.
So, our title sponsor for my Jeep was Aussie Locker. And the owner of Torq Masters, as a parent company, was in our 4x4 club. So, I approached him back then. This was like 2009. I approached him to sponsor the vehicle, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he was into it. And then fast forward to 2013, we were doing another competition. Eric and I, we dusted off our old shirts, and this was like the last comp before we were going to cut up my Jeep and part it out. And he was there, and he mentioned that he was kind of getting tired of working. This was like his retirement project, and he was turning 70, and kind of hinted that maybe he wanted to hire somebody to take over the day-to-day work. And so the whole ride home from that competition, Eric and I, we were talking. We're like, I was at a good place in my career that I could go out on my own, um, architecture wise. And so we were thinking, like, what if we approached him to buy the company? And my husband had his own company at the same time. He was a contractor. And so we decided I would be the one to approach Bill and ask if he would sell the company. So I called him that Monday after the competition and I said, would you consider selling the company? I have this much to work with. And he goes, okay, let's talk. And then I go, oh, shit, now what do I do?
You didn't think he'd answer that quickly, huh?
And he said that he would love to sell the company to me. And I'm like, oh no, now what do I do? So
Awesome.
it was about a year-long process to purchase the company, doing valuations, getting attorneys, getting a formal contract. And I learned a lot during the process. My husband definitely helped me because I didn't know what accounts receivables were and accounts payables. And I did have to learn pretty quick. Um,
A lot of business stuff, right? That they don't
all the
teach in
business
school.
stuff. Yeah, they don't teach that in architecture school. They should, though.
Yeah, they definitely should.
Just like basic accounting, everybody should know.
It
Yeah.
actually has helped me a lot. I thought about being an accountant for a little while and then realized that was way too boring for me. But super helpful in many, many ways in marketing and life.
Mhm.
Oh, for sure. A friend of mine just left a dealership he'd worked at for years, and he says, "I'm starting my own business." Ran into him in Carlisle, and I said, "Look, there's three things that I feel are really important for you starting your business. A, get a good lawyer, get a good accountant, get a good bookkeeper, and don't try to do it all yourself. Do at least an LLC, and and hopefully he took my advice in a sense. But yeah, it's not easy, especially when you didn't get any of that in school or college.
Mhm.